Another thing I wanted to do, Chuck, I got a buddy named Chuck. Me and Chuck were in high school together, and I didn't really know him. He was a year younger than me, and he's got a fascinatingly interesting story. I don't know how much of his story I can even tell, but he emancipated himself when he was a kid, meaning that he got legal permission to separate himself from his family. And he was on his own, and no one was supporting him. And you know, the people in the county where we lived, I didn't know this, but the people in the county knew this, and they knew that he worked at a job and went to school, put himself through school, rented his own apartment, paid for his own food, transportation, clothes, everything. He basically took care of himself. I got to know him right after high school because we were both members of a local church, and that church started the bus ministry, and me and him were the two motorheads. In fact, I got a picture of him helping me pull a 1914 Model T C cab Ford out from under a garage. After the garage caved in on it, and so we were buddies. He had a Mustang, I had a Camaro, and we kept the church bus running, and we were the drivers and the mechanics for the church. He went on to become a mechanic, and I went on to become a truck driver. He got a job. I remember back then he was working at the Fiat dealership, which was it's probably a horrible place to start out, but on the other hand, if you're going to find ridiculously difficult problems and learn how to fix them, I can't think of a better place to be than an Italian automobile dealership, which is where he was. But he went on and founded his own business and ran his own business and had a good life. And we're both all grown up now. But I put this up online the other day, and we were kind of joking about this. I said he needed one of these. Of course, you got to keep in mind he either owns or has owned every mechanical tool that could possibly be imagined by humankind, having been in business doing this stuff all his life. He sold more good tools than I ever knew existed. But he asked me, would this work on the golf cart? And I'm pretty sure the reason he asked me was this is a 48 volt, let me think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I take it back, this is a 36 volt golf cart, which means, no, I take it back, those are 8 volts. So this is a 48 volt. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 8-volt batteries. 6 times 8, 6, 12, 24, 24, 28, 48. It's 48. So I'm guessing what he's asking me is, does this give you a 48 volt readout instead of just a 12 volt readout, which you would normally get on a car? So I'm gonna find out right now. I'm gonna stick this wire down in here on the positive. I'm gonna stick this wire there. Okay, let me bring y'all over here. So that answers that question for Chuck. I'll send this video to Chuck, and he can smoke it out with y'all in the morning when he sees it, if he sees it. I was going to tell you more amazing things about Chuck, but I don't know how much of his story he would want me to tell. But you know, he's got an amazing story, and the more you hear about his story, the more amazing it gets. So this is 49.7 volts. So to answer his question, and yours if you had a question, yes, this will read 49.7 volts as opposed to just 12 volts, which makes this an even handier and even dandier tool. So anyway, that's a little bit of a story about my buddy Chuck. Y'all might remember he was up here. He had a big diesel pusher camper, and he brought and parked up here and spent the night. And we met him down in Florida, and we was down there together. I remember the date exactly because it was January 6th, and they had that big thing they had at the Capitol while we was down there camping, and we got to see all that. Well, I wasn't really sitting down there watching TV, but I guess I either saw it or I heard about it online the next day. Anyway, that's a little bit. I can put more in that. So, Chuck, I still got the nose sniffles. Yes, it works on a golf cart. I said, you need one of these. You want me to buy you one, send you for Christmas? He said, well, I do have other options, and I know what that means is he's probably got electrical tools where you can just point it at a car going down the road and it'll tell you how many volts it's kicking out of its heater core or whatever, you know. He's smart. He's smarter than me in a lot of ways. So I'll stop this video and we'll get this one up online, and oh, who knows what we'll be talking about next. You never know.